Alright, so Ted, here we are on the fifth hole at Mount Woodson. We're going to kind of go over some of the stuff that we saw so far today. You know, we talked about the ball flight issue where you were tending to overcurve it. Luckily today I haven't seen that a whole lot, which is great. You've been hitting the ball quite well, just kind of mismanaging the golf course a little bit for what we were looking for. So when we're talking about kind of how we can improve that and things that we want to look at, first and foremost, we want to talk about your pre-shot routine, which, you know, as we played the last hole, you mentioned that you don't have one, right? So we want to get into a habit of setting the ball, you know, on the tee, picking a target line, even an intermediate target line, and then making sure you're calculating the shots appropriately, right? So, you know, when we're looking at it, we want to account for things like the elevation, the type of grass you're in,
wind.
The wind, exactly. And even so much, you know, one of the things I feel like I'm pretty good at is I can kind of get a good idea of how I'm hitting the ball for the day. So if I feel like I'm only hitting it almost really good, then sometimes I'll take and add on 10 or 15% just based on how I'm feeling for the day too, right? So you can kind of start to get an idea for, you know, what that looks like for you, right? So for this one here, I think a really good thing that we can look at is just kind of putting the ball somewhere in the center of the fairway out there.
Yep.
This hole kind of narrows up quite a bit, right? And then it comes to the green. Do you have any questions with that so far?
No, I just need to establish, like you said, a pre-shot routine. I never really have had one, and so you've given me stuff to think about in terms of going through that process and being consistent with it on every shot.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, just go ahead. As you go ahead and set up here, I'd say ideally on this shot here, maybe a little bit more on the right side, especially with that curving ball that you have, right? We want to block against that. There's tons of room out to the right,
Yeah.
so let's just try and get this one in play and then we'll go from there. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome.